Apparently, let's repeat. Sorry. Apparently, when paradise stops seeking paradise, and it sees that there's no seeker, but just paradise, it is struck blind by unconditional love. Unconditional love is blindness. It does not see another. It does not see any boundaries. It does not need to correct. It does not see any errors. It does not see opposition. It does not see wrong or right. It does not need reciprocity. I can't never say that word. Reciprocity. It does not need any acknowledgement. It does not require any understanding. It does not need to be practiced. Unconditional love is blindness. It does not see dark or light. It does not see any lack. It does not see anything missing at all. It does not have a vision. It does not see a destination. It does not need experience. It does not see appearances. It does not see colors. It does not see it all. Unconditional love is blindness to illusions or reality or positions. Again, it cannot really be defined. It does not require analysis. It does not require any kind of comparison. It simply does not see. Unconditional love is blind to identification. It is simply impersonal. It does not have any preferences. It does not have any realizations. Let's flip it a little bit. Blindness is also seeing that there's no separation. Blindness is also seeing that there's no opposition. Blindness is also seeing that simply there's not two. So this is seeing and blindness simultaneously, that there's nothing missing. This is seeing and blindness, that there's nothing missing. Unconditional love can never be defined, because who's going to define it? Unconditional love is simply not two, so it does not see another. Unconditional love is whole and complete. So how can it know? It does not need to know. It does not need to figure out. It's totally blind. Seeing is blindness. These appearances is not happening. These boxes, these characters are not real. These colors do not exist. These boundaries are not here. Seeing in a dream is blindness, because what's seen is also unseen the moment that it's seen that it's a dream. Complete blindness. The absence of everything, the absence of meanings, the absence of words, the absence of identification. Blindness. Not as physical attribute, because that's just a thought, but blindness. So what seems to be appearing is this vision, which is also not quite there. What seems to be appearing is this appearance, but it's also not appearing. And it cannot be figured out by trying to wrestle with thoughts, because thoughts are blindness. So what's being expressed here is that it's seen already. It's this already. It's blind already. But those words seems to be opposition are not really opposition. They're just words that seemingly creates this contradiction or contraction. But when it's seen from this unspeakableness, word seems to create this contradiction that there's separation. So when emptiness sees emptiness, it's blind to the appearances of separation. It's blind to the idea that there's something less or there's something more. It's blind to specialness. It's blind to what is wrong or right. It doesn't see anything. But in this apparent dream, there's this vision of separation. There's this vision of something to happen next. There's this vision of something that happened before. But all of these apparitions is blindness. See, it already is. There's really no contradiction aside from the idea that there's a contradiction. It's like seeing colors, but there are no colors. Seeing light and seeing dark. Which one is it? None of it. None of it. It already is completely whole and complete. It's like, that's a wrong, it's like a cup. It's not going to see that it's a cup because it doesn't have vision. It doesn't have vision of separation. And there's trying to grasp this, right? Is it really blindness or it's none of those? These are empty words trying to express that everything is seen and unseen at the same time, but it cannot be expressed because expressing it positions a seeing or a blindness. So which one is it? It's just unconditional love. And it cannot be talked about. It cannot be defined. It cannot be. These are just gibberish. Dream language expressing this, and this, and this. If you want to talk about this, please go ahead. Not personal love. Personal love is completely different. There's this confusion with what personal love is or romantic love. Yeah, there's no opposite. See, that's why it can't be expressed as a personal thing, right? Because the moment that the personal comes, it becomes a conditional love. Oh, it's recording. That's right. There's no separation. It's impossible to describe this or to know this or to understand this. Yeah, it's again, it's blindness to this, right? It's like there's this seeming kind of like, trying to go forward and trying to know, trying to get, trying to grasp, trying to see. What is it that you see that I don't see? It's all blindness. It's all a mystery. It's all unknowing. Hi, Emerson. Every time that you have an intro, it stuns all my questions. I have all of these questions prepared, but I have nothing to ask now. Maybe no intro the next one. It's not necessary, the intro, to be honest, right? It doesn't really, it's really unnecessary. It's just like, it's like writing poetry on water. Yes, silent intro. Maybe in the next one, I'll do an interpretive dance, kind of like. That's a good idea, actually. I can show off my dance skills. Were you a dancer? Um, when I was a little kid, my mom used to enter me in dance competitions, and I would win it. But my dad has a decision for me to be the intellect type, so it was never pursued. But every time that I would go break dancing, go to a club, yeah, there was just this liberation about it. Yeah. What kind of dance? I did um, break dancing. I did disco dancing, like Bee Gees, from the 70s. My aunt used to put on Saturday Night Live, and we would do all of this movement. And then hip hop, you know, and just club dancing. I would go to clubs and dance, and yeah. There was always a love for music ever since I was a little kid. So even when I walk, there's rhythm. When I put on some some dance music, I'm walking to the beat. Can you talk about the illusion of time and how does it apply to unconditional love being blind? Actually, thank you for that question. There is no time. Time is an illusion. So what seems to appear in time, like seeing, is not happening. In the absence of time, there's no subject or object because that requires a two. In the absence of time, there is no vision happening. You can't travel. Kind of like what I said before, nothing has ever happened. Nothing is moving. Nothing has moved. It's perfectly still. So there's this illusion of movement, kind of like what I was expressing, the contracting, the openness, the blinking in and out. Those are just appearances. And there's this unconditional love that's immovable, that's blind, blind to time, blind to movement, blind to you and me, blind to separation. And it's inexpressible. This is blind talking. I just saw the video that you posted with Catherine. I had a couple of glimpses. Can you do that again for all of us here? No. There's no one doing any of that. That was just an automaticness. That was an autopilot. There's no one that is, um, no one that dropped away. So that video is just what is. Seemingly there was a seeker that was seeking for a long time, and there was a seeing that there is no seeker. And seemingly in that video, there was a looking for the mind, but there's no mind. I don't know if Catherine was sleeping early. I'm not sure if she's back. Oh, she's not here. But yeah, it's just here. It's just what is. Nothing even happened. It's just ordinariness. It's just what is. It's what already is. Hi, Catherine. Someone was asking.
Yes, I was sleeping. I must have needed it. I must have been asleep for an hour
Yeah.
in the last one. And I've just had some food as well. Yeah, I've no idea of I've not seen it. I've not been to look and I wouldn't have any idea
Yeah.
of yesterday.
Yeah.
It's another one of those
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
gone,
Yeah.
and this morning or whatever.
It's just ordinary, isn't it? It's like a dream, that something that never happened. It's hard to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's not even the dream, or I
Yeah.
hear it's talked about, and
Yeah.
that's all.
Yeah.
And there's a response to what's talked about, but
Yeah. Yeah.
that it's just that simple, really.
Yeah.
And I can't say that life has changed. It's still exactly the same. It's just yeah, maybe there's that contentment.
Yeah.
It's like, in a way, there's the comparison doesn't even arise.
Yeah.
So you can't even compare with what was, because there's nothing else.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. I mean, there might be thoughts,
Yeah.
but again, there's nothing else than just the thoughts, and that's it. I don't have this blindness you talk about.
It's just a word, basically, that's saying that it's
Yeah,
just the same. It's not the physical blindness, it's just the sameness, right? It's just thoughts, it's just what is, basically.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
Whatever the appearance, the
yeah.
changes in the
Yeah.
appearance, it's still this.
It's still this. Yeah.
Yeah. And I wouldn't know why these words have just come out. It's like,
Yeah.
like you said, you can't prepare because
No. Yeah.
because it's like there's no next, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it just feels fulfilled.
Yeah.
So there's no search for a next, or
Yeah.
yeah. So it must still be there, whatever it is. It's like, I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
words.
It's just words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just word. Yeah.
But
Again,
yeah,
this. Sorry. Go ahead.
it doesn't feel. It doesn't. It's not different.
Yeah.
Or for a difference to be there, there would have to be a memory of
Exactly.
before,
Yeah.
and there's no memory of before.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
at least I'm rested now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. This morning I was waking up, and just before I woke up, I was having a dream.
Yeah.
But the dream did feel so real. And I
Yeah.
think I was telling people about this, and they couldn't get it.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and I thought, oh, that was just a dream.
Yeah. How was your sleep? Was it, did you fall asleep right away? Remember you were going to tell me, I said, in this character.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think so. Not straight away, but
Yeah.
there were no, not a lot of mental energy, if
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean. It's definitely quieter. And apart from the dream I woke up from, there's no idea of sleep or how long it was,
Yeah.
So
Again, this is just a story. There's a seamlessness to everything now. Like
seamlessness. Yeah,
seamlessness. Yeah. That
that's right. Yeah.
there's no real beginning or ending. It's just this seamlessness. And it's hard to express it because the word seems to point out to beginnings and endings or separation. So it's just this seamlessness that cannot really be. How do you even talk about that? Yeah.
Yeah. So I have been more tired.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Yes, I guess it's that relaxation, and
Yeah.
I will.
Okay.
And my friend's feeling a lot better today as
Oh,
well. And
good. Yeah.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
not been sick again. So
Oh, good.
yeah,
Good.
because
Are you
at
still
first
at
she
her
was
house?
worried. Hmm?
Are you
Yes,
still
I'm still at her house.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, nothing changes. To revise that statement, nothing gets enlightened. It's just always chopping wood, carrying water. It's always same. There's no before or after. It's just always chopping wood, carrying water.
And earlier on, there was a slight disappointment, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the anticlimacticness about it. You're like, oh, this, I guess this is just this.
Yeah. And a slight sadness, but it's
Yeah,
this here has been grieving and sad for most
yeah,
of most of life. So,
yeah,
the heart is sort of sore from a lot of grieving and crying
yeah,
and whatever. So it's nothing different. It's nothing different.
yeah. It's there's a lot of stories about, just the loss, right? It's like a grief as well, right? Because you're grieving the idea of enlightenment. You're grieving it's almost like a loss of that idea of next. There's no
Yeah,
next, right? Because there's this,
yeah. But that's a relief
it's
as
a
well.
relief. Yeah,
That's a relief as well.
yeah. There was this idea, you know what I'm saying, that when, because there was this, it's almost kind of like in a lot of spiritual teachings, even when this character got into the radical non-duality, there was an expectation of, of fireworks, so to speak, right? This kind of like, um certification, or a validation or something, but there's no one to validate,
Mm.
there's no one to congratulate.
There's
It's
no
just,
need. There's no need
that's,
for it.
there's no need. Yeah, it's like, oh,
No.
that's, I guess, yeah. But in
Yeah.
the story, right,
That's it.
there's
Oh, it
this,
very much is a story thing, isn't it? Wanting validation.
wanting validation, wanting kind of like,
Yes.
it's like
Success.
the success, reaching to the top, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's reaching the summit, all that kind of stuff. It's
Mm.
and yeah, it's disappointing, isn't it? It's just but also a
It,
relief at the same time.
yeah, but it's not a big thing.
Yeah,
Disappointing. It's just a just a felt
it just appears,
something.
and it's just
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
not important. It's
no,
not
yeah,
important.
yeah,
Mm.
beautiful. It's almost like there's no one to shout to the mountaintops about this, before the apparent seeking. It's almost like there's a wanting to announce, that this happened, but since it never really happened, there's just this, okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes, no need to announce anything
no
at
need,
all.
yeah,
Interesting conversation last night, and for me it was last night because it was still half 1 in the morning. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, because everything is talked about, it doesn't matter.
It
It
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
have to be about non-duality at all.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
it almost
exactly.
felt like oh, that's a normal type of subject.
It's like the normalcy, right? It's like the normalcy, and it's not in that lingo anymore of non-duality.
Yeah,
It just becomes this normalness. It's like, okay,
yeah.
yeah,
Because of that freedom.
Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's some things that sort of raise questions.
Yeah.
When we were talking about brainwashing and cults and things like that, you know?
Yeah.
And that brought up certain questions on what I believe as well.
Yeah.
Or what I've believed, or sort of, you know, was not sure. And then listening to stuff, I think, oh, well, it looks like they actually still believe in something that I see as obviously not
That's nothing.
true.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to speak up because it felt like then it's a position, you know.
Yeah. Again, everything is still allowed, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like, you know, it's just an allowance of everything. There's nothing excluded anymore. It's just this complete openness. It's not just in this idea of what non-duality should be or what it shouldn't be, because there's no such thing as non-duality anymore. And there's not even such thing as a belief system. Even if it appears, it's just mists that appears. Yeah. It's just what is, no matter what it is. So there's this liberation of just whatever it is. It's the liberation with like taking your puppy and picking up the poop. You know what I'm saying? And not or talking
it's
shit.
just sometimes it comes up as if feeling understood between people. Oh yes, you see the way I see.
Yeah.
You know, oh, yeah.
Yeah. But it's also seeing that it's just all a picture show.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a show. Yeah. Beautiful though.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Even with the lots of friends I've made since I've moved down to the seaside, you know, I made lots of friends, and we have quite strong views like that, but some are too much.
Yeah.
Some are, you know, warrior like, and definitely seeing an enemy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
are there an enemy to fight and to resist, and then almost they got angry at one point because I was saying about some immigrants that arrive on boats. There's quite a lot of them, you know, in the UK, and they're put in hotels. So there's quite a few in the hotels just around the corner, and there's so much negativity towards that. And then I was walking, and some were next to my house talking to builders, and I just saw that innocence in these eyes, you know, and the beauty. And then, oh my gosh, the people I've been hanging out around with, like the backlash, they mourned because I said something nice, you know. It's like, and I gave up. I quit 2 groups I was following or with, you know, they like their followers, and
nice.
Yeah. It's funny when we're highlighted. It's just a black screen, and you know, you and me, and there's no one else.
There's no one else.
There's no one else. It's just a chit chat between 2 people. There's no audience. So
and if you really look at it, it's just pictures, really.
It is, yes. But I mean, if you have the group one, and someone talks, then you sort of see reactions and people who like,
that's right,
wondering what he said.
Yeah. It's all empty anyway, even that.
Still there's no separation, is there? So, I definitely feel so quietened down. I think there was such an uptightness before, and you know, and then an excitement, but a tight excitement,
Yeah,
come,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
It's all these movements.
Mm.
It's almost like the way that I, yeah, it's almost like the shackles are gone in kind of like that it there's no shackles, of course, right? But there's this imaginary shackles, and the tightness is, but of course when that shackle is gone, it's like you're jumping up in joy. There's so much excitement, and all of a sudden it's tired again.
Yeah.
And that's just a story, of course.
Mm.
Yeah. Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Why can I not hear or take in any of this? The words don't even go in anymore, and it's so frustrating. Because there's trying to grasp, but there's no one grasping. So all of these movements are futile. All of this seeking is futile. Trying to seek to find the words when there are really no words that can really express this is futile, and it can be frustrating. It's impossible. And it's not to, basically it's actually a relief that it's impossible. It's not it's not to create a barrier, right? Because there are no barriers. It's just expressing that there's no barriers, that there's no boundaries. It already is. It's just an appearance. So all of these thoughts that appears as barriers are just really empty. They're like invisible walls, but there's no wall because they're just made up. Thank you. But the one that I responded, we can chat if you like. We can chat like on yeah, we can just message me. Yeah. It already is. If nothing changes, it was Emerson always this happy? What, again, and it's just another kind of like story that there's something special about this. Um, if you see me DJing, I'm always happy. This is like DJing. It's just doing what it loves to do. Um, yeah, it's just irrelevant. Yeah, it's irrelevant of happy because it's just a position, right? There's no one here that is permanently happy because there's no one. There seems to be contentment, but there's no one. There seems to be an appearance of smiling and laughing, but there's no one. So there's this comparison again. There's trying to arrive at something, trying to figure out what does he have that I do not have. Cool crooked glasses. That's basically it. Do you watch your own YouTube videos? Not really. There's editing, and even when I'm editing, I usually mute it. I feel like everything is dropping away, even words. It feels like there is no understanding of words anymore, no remembering anything. It's a bit scary. That's just another thought. And there's nothing wrong with thoughts. But the thoughts that seem to appear is again, it's just an obscuring of what already is. So what is scary is already this. So there's nothing after this. It's already this. The unknown is already this. There's usually this going back and forth of like it's like I don't know if I want to drown. It's already drowned. It's like I don't know if it's already done. So what is the scariest is already this. Is that really happening? Well, is life really even happening? Is beginning and endings really happening? Have you witnessed your own death? These are just thoughts about something that is other than this. If there's no one who dies, you can also say that death is already happening as well. This is already death too. Without words, what's death? What does it even mean? I'm not even going to read that. How do I disable private? So I'm just joking. So everyone can see. I'm just joking. Is Emerson dead or alive? Neither. It's just an appearance. It doesn't matter. You can even say neither and same. It doesn't matter. These are just, again, thoughts and trying to figure out what is apparently here and what should be there. There's no here and there. It's raining here and it's so beautiful. Just the pitter patter of the raindrops. Beautiful. Is me like a chat GPT or an AI with some self-consciousness? Those are just ideas. We can just there can just be thoughts about what is happening, but those thoughts are not really even real. But in a story, the me or the character is seemingly like a program, but there's no programmer, right? It just automatically, it's like an app that seems to, but there's no self-consciousness because that's just a thought, that's just a programming. um it's not sentient because that's just a programming. So what seems to appear is just this automatic speaking, um that seems very robotic because there's no one doing it, but there's no one that created a robot as well. So it's not really a technology that you can think of. It's unthinkable because it's just happening automatically and autopilot. And at the same time, it's not even happening. So it's unthinkable. There's an idea that this could be just like a simulation, but there's no one that created a simulation. There's an idea that this is, all of these thoughts are seemingly, there can be a comparison, that, this can be fun. We were talking about chat GPT in the breakout room, and it was quite fun to talk about that, of how seemingly it's very similar, that everything is automatically generated, but there's no one even generating it. So it's just this immediacy, this directness of what's happening, of these words that are apparently appearing, coming up from nowhere. And there's going to be a thought that it's coming from somewhere, and that's also coming from nowhere. And it's just thoughts that appears, seemingly kind of like, in a linear form, but all that there is this very instance that's not even happening, this infinite moment. There's no other moment. There's no further, there's no beyond, there's no before. It's just this. Yeah, seemingly like an artificial intelligence, but no one created it. There's no creator, because that will be dualistic. So how do you know what you're talking about? No one knows anything here. As I said, there's just this automaticness that this speaking happens for no apparent reason. And even the seeming thoughts, are just automatic, but there are also no thoughts because no one has a thought. Thoughts happen, but for no one. But seemingly the thought that I am doing this is seen as absent. The I thought, the I am, the idea of, personal is seemingly, again, this is just a story because no one knows this, is seemingly turned off. But no one turned it off. It's always been off.
Emerson, hello.
Yes. Hi, Barbara.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Oh, it's Corey.
Oh, Corey. Oh, hi, Corey. Sorry. I
All
just saw
right.
Barbara go up in a chat there. Sorry. Hi,
Oh,
Corey. How are you?
yeah, I'm good. I've just had a nice weekend with my daughter
Oh,
down
good.
some distance away, a few hundred miles away. But that was nice. But just as an excuse for something to say.
Of course. How
I
are you?
thought, but yeah, but it was good, good. I just you were talking about raindrops just now,
Yeah.
and it just reminded me we on the train coming back to London. She came back with me on the train. There was a Canadian couple from
Oh,
Toronto, and I said,
what's their
"Oh,
name?
Toronto." He didn't tell us his name, but he just said he was from Toronto, in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're chatting. I said, "Oh, I've got a friend who lives in Toronto. That's you."
Yeah.
And he was just going on about because the sun's been lovely here. We had a beautiful day
Yeah.
today. And he was just carrying on the wonderful weather. Oh, he said, it's so lovely. So much warmer than Canada. And Canada, it's 30 degrees below in the winter. And
Yeah.
I thought, gosh, that's a chalk up because nobody speaks well of the weather in here in
Yeah.
England. But, so yeah, that was quite a surprise. But poor man, he and his wife, they were going to a conference in Italy.
Okay.
Apparently, very, very important conference, and they were stuck in London. His passport, I don't know, ran out or something, and then they couldn't get to Europe because of the because they're now the EU, and you can't go from England to Europe without
A
special
passport. Yeah.
something anyway.
The
So,
the CRA or the Canadian Revenue Agency is on strike here. That's probably why.
oh, really? He was laughing about that. He was
Yeah.
saying that everybody is going on strike. Everybody wants to work from home, and because he said they don't work and they all want more money. And
Yeah.
I said much the same here. But yeah, he was really great. But the thing was, I mean, they'd come over specially to head to Italy via Europe and England, and he was just laughing his head off the whole time. But I mean, they didn't know where they were going to sleep from one night to the next,
Oh,
how long he'd be stuck. But he didn't seem to care. And I thought, gosh, forget about getting enlightened. He was just happy. He didn't. And yeah, we had lots of laughs, and yeah,
that's
quite.
great.
But it was nice because he came from Toronto, so
Yeah.
I had to speak up, and we just got chatting.
Nice. I was about to make a joke if you said a name. I'm like, oh yeah, John from Toronto, you know.
Got to be special.
Yeah, John and Marie. Yeah, they're from Toronto. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Well, it's so lovely to see you. And how's your son?
Been a bit of progress.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good, good. Yeah, that's good.
came to see me a few weeks ago out of the blue, and it actually went quite well.
Great.
But, yeah, I still haven't written the letter. I just haven't had
Okay.
chance. But
Yeah,
I'm still nervous about it. But I need to. I know I want
yeah,
to. Yeah. So I don't know what's happening really with him, but I feel there's a little bit of a softening there.
yeah.
Fingers
Good.
crossed. Yeah, yeah, it's a big one. Long way to go. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll talk to you sometime, but I feel he's being influenced by his partner.
Oh, good, good. Yeah,
She doesn't want him to know me, basically.
yeah,
So that doesn't help,
yeah.
you know. But sometime I'll talk to you
It's
about
just
it.
what is too, right? It's just what
I
is.
know, I
Yeah.
know.
Well, it's good to see that there's lightness.
But there's some
Yeah,
shift.
yeah, yeah. Good, good, good. Yeah, yeah,
But I mean, all the time I'm saying they're not ready. He's not
yeah,
ready. It doesn't help very much, but
yeah.
I do it anyway.
Good, good. Yeah,
I forget sometimes,
yeah.
but yeah. Anyway,
Beautiful. Thank you, Corey. We'll get to chat again soon. I just have to fix this get because you're in London, so it's 5 hours, and it's hard to I can only do nights most of the time, right? You know, like
I understand. Yeah,
which is like 7 o'clock. My time would be like
yeah. 7 your
midnight.
time, 8, 9, 10, 11, midnight. Yeah,
Midnight your time, yeah.
midnight.
So
Yeah. But
maybe
I mean,
soon.
maybe. I mean, I'm happy to stay up on occasion. I can
Okay.
sleep the next day. I'm
Okay.
retired.
Yeah. All right. Just let me know. Yeah.
All
Just let me
right.
know. Message
Okay.
me.
Okay.
It's lovely
Okay.
to see you.
Yeah, love to see you
Yeah.
too. Very lovely. Mm.
Thank you, Corey.
Mm.
The breakout rooms actually when this apparent meeting ends, it just becomes a breakout room. Yeah. Everyone just stays and chats and everything, you know, and it's um yeah. What's a breakout room? A breakout room is when after the meeting everyone just gets to hang out um and just chat, you know, and talk shit about Emerson, that kind of thing. Where everybody just basically can hang out, you know, and just talk about anything at all, yeah. Or gossip, you know, seems to happen. Whatever it is what is, yeah. Oops. How come when I come to your meetings I always fall asleep and I feel refreshed, but the next day I feel contracted again? It's just what is. There's nothing special here. It's just what is, yeah. in one of your talks, you were talking about your old friends. Um, can you talk about, have you lost all of, can you talk about your friends and how they see this? And can you talk about friendships? Again, it's just another questions of comparison, right? It's just trying to compare what seems to be special here. It's not really relevant. It's just what is. It's just a story. It doesn't really matter. But when okay. Can you tell us a story then? Okay. Oh man. All right. Okay. And it's okay. It's all right. Yeah, there seems to be just a normalcy with because there's no one, no really there's no others, right? It's just basically there's just more authenticness of the character because it's not playing a role anymore. It's not pretending to be a teacher, or it doesn't really matter. Um, there's just there's just a lot more honesty. Just what is, and yeah, it's not really necessary to, it's just a comparison again. Yeah, it's just a story. But thank you. So what is autopiloting? It's just what is. And even autopiloting is just another thought to express something that is just happening, that's not even happening. It's just basically meaning that there's no one doing this. It's not being done for you as well. It's just what is. It's really hard to express something that is just happening on its own. There's no prior and there's no after, right? So there's no knowledge or knowing of what is happening. It's just happening. It's just automatically happening. And there's no one that is, there's always this question that, is it a source? Is it, that's just a knowing again. That's just an understanding. That's just a thought. So this is just this. How do you know that it's not a source? Then that would be duality. That would be knowing. That would be, figuring out something. As I mentioned, this is really just openness. That it's just, there's nothing to land on, so to speak. There's nothing to position. It's just what is. It's unknowable, and it's not trying to hide something from anything. It's just what is. It's just unknowable because there's no one that knows here. If there was someone that knows here, he would have told you already on how to get there. But getting there is just another illusion. It's just an appearance because there's no one here to tell you to get there. When there was a belief system, it thought it knew that it got something. It thought that it got achieved something. And although there was earnestness in sharing it, when it was seen that position crumbles, falls apart, because nothing is permanent. There is this appearances, kind of like, coming and going, that seems to appear and disappear. So what seems to appear and disappear, like beliefs, positions, are not real. Although it feels real, it's just what is. Groundless, I like that. Groundlessness, yeah. It doesn't have a ground to stand on. No position to hold on to. Neither wrong or right. It's free. Thank you, Axel.
I used to have so much to say to you,
Yeah, please go
and
ahead.
now I'm speechless.
Oh.
I just got nothing to even ask,
Oh.
say anything
Oh. That's all right.
whatsoever.
Yeah, it seems to happen. There's a couple of people that were saying that actually, that sometimes even in a one-on-one they prepare, like questions, and when it seems to happen, it's just like, I don't know what to ask, because there's really nothing to ask. It already is. Kind of like what you were saying earlier, the words appear, right? And they just crumble or something. I think you were saying something about that it's meaning that it's when what is being expressed is already obvious, the words.
Yeah, but I want to join in
Yeah.
and speak, but I've got no questions, nothing to say. I'm literally speechless.
Hooray.
But I want to join in because it's fun. But I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I've got nothing to say. It's pissing me off. It's like I used to have so many questions, and now I've got nothing. Like every single thing that you say feels like you're not even saying anything.
Yeah, because I'm not. I'm not really saying
Yeah.
anything.
It just feels like you're just going.
That's what it
Like,
is, actually.
nothing. It's not even going anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And I keep trying to listen.
It's like that Charlie
And
Brown.
it's
Wow,
not
wow, wow.
working.
Like Charlie Brown?
Yeah, like
Wow, 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 wow.
and it's like I don't even know why I'm bothering.
But there's no choice. That's
I know. Yeah, but I love this. I love it like you do.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I've just got
There's
nothing to say.
yeah.
Like I find it really fun.
It is
But
fun, yeah.
I've got absolutely nothing to say whatsoever.
Awesome sauce.
It's like a loss, Becca.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It feels like a
I
loss,
wanna,
definitely.
yeah, I want to join in and have fun, but
Yeah.
I've got no questions, nothing to ask.
I like your glasses, by the way, Becca.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
cool.
thank you. I'm blind. I'm blind as a bat without my glasses on.
We can just hang out. We don't have anything to say.
Yeah,
you know?
but I've just noticed like the past few times I literally have nothing to ask
Yeah.
you.
I remember I think it was like a couple of weeks ago that there was just a
Yeah.
lot of tears, right? And you're like, but I don't know what's happening.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That seems to appear as well.
Now it's just I've got nothing to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love listening to your videos. And
Oh,
then when you
thank
put
you.
a new video, I listen to it, but I can't hear it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't
Yeah.
take it in.
It's almost,
Like
it cannot be
nothing's.
digested anymore, right? It's just yeah.
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 It's like I put it on
Yeah.
and it's just noise.
Yeah. It is actually. It's just static. It's just static. It's really nothing.
Yeah, but because it's such a change, it's really frustrating because I'm like, I want to listen to what he's saying and I can't. 'Cause it's
There's an
just going.
opposite to that, and it's the same dilemma. There's an opposite. I'm hearing everything that you're saying, and I'm trying to understand it. It's the same thing, right? It's
No,
just
but I'm not even trying to understand
no.
it.
There's
I
the
want to
opposite.
listen to you because
The
I
opposite.
enjoy
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just going. That was a waste of an hour.
It is. It is actually. But thank you. Thank you, Becca. That's
Yeah, thank
beautiful.
you. No offense.
Non taken whatsoever. I was laughing at it. It's beautiful.
I'll say one more thing if I can.
Of course. Yeah. Anytime. In no time.
Do you feel like you've got where you completely forget everything?
Yes.
Everything. Like absolutely everything.
Yes. Yeah.
It's so strange.
It
My
is
partner
strange.
keeps saying, I think you've got something wrong with you. Because
I
it's
was
like, I
I was
can't
at my
remember anything. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what day it is. It's like, I'm not even thinking about what's going on.
yeah. It's that
Sorry, I'm not.
it's like
It's your
that
Alexa.
thinking mechanism seemingly has been corrupted, right? It's like malfunctioning. Because
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
just
there
gone.
really. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone. No. It's just not working anymore.
It's not good for working in a corporate position, you know. but the smile and the lightedness makes up for it seemingly,
Yeah,
right?
but it's not
Because
funny because I keep going to my little boy, have you had a shower tonight? He's like, yeah. Then 2 minutes later, have you had a shower tonight? He's like, yeah, I just told you that a minute ago. I'm like, oh, right. Oh, right. I feel like I've got like something wrong with me.
something got
But
wiped
my
out, right? You
brain's
know, that
just
was
not,
never there.
yeah, my
Yeah.
brain's just not working
Yeah.
because there's no fucking brain.
Yes. What brain?
What brain?
Yeah.
Oh, crazy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yo.
Hello.
One more thing.
Of course, as I said, anytime.
So, when you feel like a person, you think, I'm getting out of bed. I've got this to do today. This to do. This.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I feel like you're just doing without
Yeah.
me doing.
It's just doing. Yeah. It's just
Yeah. It's just like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like you're just getting out of bed, not even thinking about, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like, wow. What?
Yeah.
I feel like everything's going so fast.
Yeah.
Like, no planning, no nothing. Just do what you do.
Yeah.
This.
It's like the Truman Show, but there's no audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
For folks that haven't seen the Truman Show, it's an old movie by Jim Carrey. I'm looking at Kenny, just in case he doesn't know the movie. It's an old
No,
Jim
but it
Carrey
is.
movie.
It's like,
It's like a Truman Show. It's like a reality show, but there's no one watching. There's no
yeah,
audience.
because you used to think, oh, fucking hell, I've got to get out of bed. I've got to iron the clothes. I've got to do this. Now it's just get out of bed, iron the clothes,
Yeah.
do this with nothing behind it.
Yeah. There's nothing behind it. There's no one watching. It's like, when I used to when I was a little kid, I used to, close all the doors, and put on some music and dance when no one's watching, right? And you just free the freedom. But that, that locking of the doors is now gone because there's really no one watching. And then there's just freedom.
Yeah.
So
It's
if
just
you run across me walking my dog, sometimes I do a little step, just kind of like, because there's just this,
like a
it's just
boogie.
this, I'm a walking TikTok dance, It's just with no cameras on.
You want to see me on a Friday night? I'm like, whoop, whoop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's just no restrictions to what seem to be. It's like there's no observing, there's no one watching you. It's just what is.
Yeah,
It's
just
do you remember
goes.
that's a good movie, the Truman Show, right? I remember he was so sad. He was just like, there's something off, right? When
Mm.
do you remember that show? I think he was a baby and he was raised, in a closed community where everyone was an actor, but he's real seemingly. And then there's
Yeah.
an audience watching him, like a TV show and everything, watching every step that he makes, right? And
Yeah, but like you've always said it's different, but it's not it's the
not,
same,
yeah.
but it's
So
not.
so seeking
So
is
it
like
is the
that.
same.
It's the same, yeah. But it's not.
Like it is the same. Like you're still getting out of bed.
Yeah.
You're still doing the stuff you're doing, but you're not there to know you're doing it.
Yeah. It reminds me of my conversation with my friend, right? And he goes, that it was the next day after we had the conversation in a bar, and he was just seeing that there's nothing there. And he called me up and he goes, he was brushing his teeth this morning. He was making coffee. It was like, it was just like talking in that kind of like, goes, what the hell is going on? He goes, yeah, I know. But goes, he was just doing all of this stuff and as if nothing happened. I'm like, well, nothing happened.
Yeah, but when people you say you don't notice it, you don't notice it because you're not there.
No, that's right. Yeah. But it was just kind of like,
I
what
always
the
used
hell
to look for like a big change.
No, yeah.
But you're not there to know
They're
about the change.
it's kind of like winning the biggest award, but you're not there to accept it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, and the winner is,
it's really great.
it's like winning the Oscar, but you were not there.
My kids have just got all ice creams. Right, I'll put myself on pause. They've all got ice creams. Hello, baby. Say hello to
hello.
You.
What's up, dudes? My name is Emerson. I'm a cartoon character. It's like, who's that strange dude? Okay. Thank you, Becca. Is it okay to nap in this? Yeah, there's no one choosing to nap or not. Again, no, you cannot nap. Yeah, just no. Sorry. You can even turn it off. It's okay. There's no one choosing to do any of this, right? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. There's no one that's going to be offended here. Is this recovery?
Yo,
Yo, yo,
yo, yo.
yo.
One more question.
No worries.
Why do certain characters seem to have this massive explosion and others seems to gradually be like you've completely lost the person?
Yeah, there's no other characters, just stories. But in the story, right, there's going to be 8 billion characters. So it's not like, there's different trees. There's everybody has different fingerprints. So in the story, it's all going to appear differently as well.
Yeah, but I'm
But that's
really
just a story.
jealous
Yeah.
of like not me, but whatever's happened here has been like that gradual. I've
Yeah.
not really noticed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I see other people, even though they know other
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
that are like, whoa, and it looks that amazing, like they're on drugs. So I'm like, I want some of that.
It's all the same.
I want that.
It's all the same. It's just really nothing. It's all the same nothing.
Yeah, that looks better than
Yeah.
what? That looks cool.
There's
You know what I mean, though, don't you?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There's this funny thing that there's this um person that I talked to, character that I talked to maybe about 6 months ago, and just basically said, what
I've seen
happened?
it.
Yeah, yeah. What happened? It was like this really gradual, like dripping, 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 and then the final drop
Oh no, yeah.
of that kind of like, oh, but that's just another story, right? Because it's just another narrative. So basically, what was seen was like there was no one that was gradually dropping. If you know what I'm talking
No, but
about,
I've
right?
seen ones where you've been speaking to people where they're like, oh, and they're like
That's just a story
trembling
as
and they're like,
well.
wow.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
That's just
want that. Wow. I feel like I'm
well. There's
losing
a
my
there's a special
mind.
group for that one. You have to kind of like do that.
I've got to pay
Two
you
2,000
200
hours of
quid for
no,
that
no,
one.
2,000 hours of meditation and just joking, just joking, just joking.
It's like, what's going on there?
It's just what is. It's just what is. It's just what is. It's again, comparison is just it's just a story. There's no others really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not all orgasms are the same.
I like that.
Yeah, it's just all part of the story.
It's a story as well. There's no one that
It's a
orgasms.
story.
It's all a story.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Axel, just different drugs taken. What turns you? I'm not gonna answer that. There's no point to that question. It's just what is.
Cinnamon rolls.
Yes, cinnamon rolls.
I think I know the rest of that question.
Knew it.
Rudy.
Evening, Emerson. Nice to hear your voice.
Good evening. Who's that? Carlton. Hi,
Good.
Carlton.
Hiya. How you doing?
Great.
Good. So I'm doing great as well.
Awesome.
I have. Have I got a question for you? Let me
For
think
sure.
now. Yeah, because we always try to trip you up. You know that, don't you? But we never get past it.
Who's trying to trip up? Who's being tripped up?
No one. That's a terrible thing. That's the irony of all this.
Yeah.
Who's being tripped up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
who's talking now then?
Who's talking?
I'm not talking.
Who's talking? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a real no one. Not in the Zoom.
Oh, all I know is I've just made a fantastic porridge with fruit and
Ooh.
fruit and sweet cinnamon and nutmeg and
Cinnamon,
all
nutmeg,
sorts.
yes.
Yeah, that's yeah. Now we're getting down to the heavy, deep stuff, aren't we?
What deep stuff?
Well, you know, cinnamon and porridge.
Oh yes, cinnamon. That's the deepest of all the deepest. Cinnamon and
Yeah.
porridge, yes.
Yes, things don't
That's a
get much
worthy
deeper than that.
conversation. Yeah.
Oh,
That's what runs the world, cinnamon.
yes. Well, what runs the world is cinnamon and me eating it. That's what runs the world.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm just adding an apple as well. But the bowl is running over because it's got too much fruit in it. Quite weighs a ton. How can you put that in your stomach? God. You see, that's it. The mind outvotes the body. The me wants to eat lots of things that's no good for the body, but we do eat it. We're corrupting our natural, well, the apparent me is corrupting the body. You
What
know, you
body?
like chocolate. Chocolate, it's no good. What body? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. What body?
Mm.
Well, the apparent body. Does that make sense? The apparent, which is crazy. When you think about it, it's crazy, isn't it? This is a very radical message.
It's not even that.
Oh, you horrible man, you. You horrible. There's me trying to be wise, and you pull the rug from under me every time I open. Every time I open my mouth, you pull the rug from under me here. It's not fair. I want to pull the rug from under you, but there's no one there to pull the rug from under.
What rug?
Well, you're a nasty bit of work, you are. I hate you. You're not my friend.
Bye, friend.
Oh, you want me to go?
No,
Okay.
no. Keep on
This is
going.
Tim.
I'm enjoying this. This is fun.
Sounds like Tim. A little bit.
Oh, you lot have cheered me up so much today.
What?
Casey, go ahead.
I got a big, heavy question. No, it's not a question. It's more like observation,
Sure.
which is a story,
Sure.
right? So the no free will and choice,
Mm.
it's not like you don't have it. I mean, you don't have it. You don't have anything. But it's kind of like all the choices you thought you made
Mhm.
were always automatic, and you just thought there was a free will, but it would have happened, you know.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you
it's
got
not-
that. So hold on, sorry, that's not
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's just the prerequisite.
Okay.
So-
Okay.
So you got that. It's useless to try to see this because it's always this. Something to say about glimpses. Glimpses don't matter, although it can help see this kind of, but it goes away because it's just a temporary high, whatever. Now, the final thing is, I swear sometimes when I'm like, okay, so there's no me, right? I mean, the story's going,
Yeah.
and
No worries.
it's heavy.
Talk freely. It's
heavy.
okay.
My family's
right.
calling, like my family's calling. I gotta go change the diaper.
Yeah.
And it's actually kind of beautiful because it's automatic. It's like this person's
Yeah.
just doing all those things.
Yeah.
So now God, I don't know why I drew this out. Sometimes when I'm just like thinking, I'm like, okay, right now it's not very clear, but you know, it is, but it's not. And that's okay. It's like, that's how it is. It's like, that's okay.
Yeah.
So wait a second. What is almost willingly being believed then right now? Just like a little thought experiment.
It's
And
just
and there'd be something, right?
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
like, oh shit, and then all of a sudden I'm on LSD again. And so it's shitty, I guess, because it seems like I just did something and saw something because of it. But it's like that can appear, I guess. That can appear too.
Yeah.
Just like everything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't ever have this. Sorry everybody. That was a false alarm. Because it doesn't always work. I tried it another time. I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that was just it. I wanted to get your take on it. In the story,
Yeah,
it seems like you
it's
can almost
just
induce
really
a glimpse.
Yeah, it's just really funny because it's just thoughts after thoughts, and then in between the
Yeah.
thoughts are actually the glimpses, if you really look at it, because they're not really happening. When they
Yeah.
glitch out, in the absence of all of that, it's just empty.
Right.
Yeah, it's just empty. So since you are, you or the me is just a thought, when that glitches out, it's just empty.
Right. And when it
Yeah.
doesn't glitch out, because I'll be
And
trying
it
to
says-
make it glitch out essentially with
it's
like,
just-
why is it not so clear right now?
Well, the appearance
Because
of-
I'm thinking.
the appearance. Okay,
Anyway.
let's the appearance of not clear right now is clear, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I mean by story. Like, it's not really.
It's always
You
clarity,
can't- you
no
can't-
matter
yeah.
what. Yeah, it's always clarity.
no matter what. So
Yeah.
it's just pure story time.
It is.
Really.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it doesn't matter, but it's kind of cool.
It's cool.
Yeah. And your hat's cool too. Love that
Oh, thank
hat.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The red really just slices like whooshing,
Nice.
cutting heads off. All right. Bye-bye. Toodaloo.
Thank you, Casey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Patrice goes like weather, foggy. Yeah, it's just whatever it is.
Yeah. It was obviously all a story. It took me like forever to
Yeah.
shit it out of my mouth. And the whole time it's just this.
It's cleared even when it's not clear. That's how clear it is.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love those triple word
Yeah.
thingies. That's cool. Very poetic.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. The hat thanks you.
Did you get that from Express? What's it called?
No, I got it from Temu. It's $4.
Ooh.
People thought it was from like Holt Renfrew or something, but it's from Temu.
Does it does it have the price tag?
There's
still
no
on
budget yet, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you make it work. It looks like
It does. Yeah, it looks cool.
My wife sees through it. She's like,
I have this,
Emerson wear cheap shit.
I have this sandals that looks like they came from
Yeah.
the future. Like it's like one of those kind of like, you know, slippers.
Mm.
And then one kid goes, are you an alien? Because
Yes.
the shoes looks very, it's like a Lady Gaga kind of like, you know, one of those like red rubber thing that looks like a Kanye West kind of like thing. And and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yes. And then just kept on walking.
Changed the course of his life. Because of the fashion.
Again, there's no one watching.
Blue steel. Yeah, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, it's the game over, you know, because everything will be a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, until it's not, but that's not.
Yeah.
That's saying way too much.
Yeah.
Way too much.
Way too much. It's okay. It's all right. Way too much and never enough. It's the same. Yeah.
Just this.
Okay. Just this.
Love you.
Love you too.
God, okay. Sorry. I'm like a
Barbara. Hi, Barbara.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk again, and
Of course, that's okay.
I feel like I'm gonna embarrass myself this time. Last time was good.
Yeah,
This
it's
was-
okay.
So since sharing and dialoguing with you earlier, I've been very tired,
Yes.
and I'm aware, like, I don't know if you can even see. It's like my body is going. My arm is like my physical body is resisting, and my mind is wanting to open, but my physical body is like, what? You know?
Yeah.
It's like everything is. Go ahead.
But it's just a thought, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I'm not aware of those thoughts.
Okay.
Where it must be happening. I just started. I mean, I've been so tired, and then I thought, it makes sense, and I wasn't aware about the internal tension and resistance.
Yeah.
So just a couple seconds ago, or a couple minutes ago.
This
Yeah.
communication is not, you know, it's the me or the mind or the character does not want to hear it, right? Because it's exposing its own absence. And it's seemingly, again, this is just a story, it puts up a fight, you know what I'm saying? Because it creates this narrative. Well, how, you know, it's just it creates this pulsation seemingly to create this narrative that it's contracted or whatever seems to happen. And it can only maintain itself by creating this narrative that I'm feeling, you know, whatever it is. It's either a rejection, but it's again, it's this communication is not desirable for the character. What's desirable for the character is the continuance of its own fantasy of something to happen next. Because when there's no next, that character, that thought is obviously not there. Only as a thought.
It seems. What do I want to say?
So it's coming up with another thought to support that thought. It will just keep on persisting, right? And it's tiring, right? Because it's persisting that it exists. It doesn't want to retire. It doesn't want to see its own absence. It does not want to It doesn't have any choice. So it's like this narrative that it's, well, I feel tired, there's a resistance and everything, but all of that is just pulsations and trying to, obscure this openness. You know what I'm saying? That is blind to that. It's blind to that. It's just unconditionally loving. It doesn't see that narrative. Sorry, go ahead.
I just, in some ways, I don't understand. It's not a matter of understanding, but I'm noticing that some part of the mind wants to make this connection, and then this another part.
But that's a trick, right? So it's creating another thought. So because if it makes a connection, it reinforces its reality. You see what I'm trying to get at? It will keep on coming back with it's negotiating right now because it's being expressed that it's not there. So it goes, well, a part of my mind wants to connect with this. And then my heart is open to this. It's just another thought. All of these thoughts maintains the reality that I am real. And what's being saying that there's nothing real or unreal. It's just what is. So it keeps on pulsating to maintain that it's the only existence. And it obscures this infiniteness that's neither existence or non-existence. It's just what is. So it negotiates, it creates this narrative that, well, I'm ready and I'm resisting it. All of this narrative will come up. And usually kind of like when I talk, for a longer period with a character, it just keeps on pumping thoughts. It's kind of like catching a little kid with a cookie on its hand from the cookie jar and saying, did you steal the cookie? You're like, no. It wasn't me. It was not me. I don't know what you're talking about, Emerson. It's not me. So it's getting caught red-handed, basically saying that it's really not there. It's like in an interrogation. It's like, was there someone there? Yeah, of course. I'm like, well, there's no one there. The thought maintains the thought to maintain that the thought is real. It maintains the opposition. So when a thought comes in, it creates this opposition of what already is. It's kind of like there's this wide open space. The eye comes up and it creates this separation, this boundaries like this and that. And it creates this internal dialogue. There's no internal dialogue. There's no one watching.
More in the physical than in the brain.
But there's like sensations that appear, kind of like, sensations that appear in the body. The moment that you tag it as something that, this is, it becomes a cause and effect. But what's being tagged is just what is sensationally appearing as sensations, not a reason. You know what I'm saying? Then it creates all of this narrative. It's kind of like saying that, but I'm looking at a cookie at your hand. It just got here. I don't know how it got here. It's exactly like that. I felt that it was not here, and it's just a whole bunch of narrative and words. Again, it's innocent. It's innocent. So it's playing as a negotiator that it's here.
I would like to be compassionate for the child and let it calm down, and
that's what is right now. This is being compassionate to the child and basically claiming that it has this and that and all of these appearances, right? It's all of these sensations appearing seemingly. But all of this seemingly appearances, all the experiences of the character is an illusion.
I appreciate how you're articulating. I had a deep, I don't know, expansive opening, the me falling away, like, I don't know, 30 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't even walk. I mean, sometimes I would walk down the street and people would come and prop me up because I kept falling over. And what's happening now was tenfold. I was just, something in my body was just, I mean, it was so, it was completely confusing because I was literally hitting myself in the head. I was like, I would not, this part of me was not going to accept it. And I
Yeah.
was like, why am I doing? I mean, it was completely like I was having this incredible fight that I couldn't find the fighter, but it was,
Yeah.
you know,
It's like that scene from Fight Club at the end. I don't know if you've seen that movie, you know. There was this schizophrenic happening, and the person was punching himself back and forth, right? But in his apparent mind, he was punching another person. There was duality, but he was just
Yeah.
punching himself over and over again. And you know, all that he thought, that there was a character that was gonna, like, a superior character that was running the show. Then when it was seen that it was just all in his mind, it was just schizophrenia, basically. It's the same as what's being talked about. There's this idea that there's a Barbara that's fighting this, but there's no Barbara. It's like schizophrenia.
I ended up going away from the whole spiritual thing for all
Yeah.
these years. I just thought, oh, this isn't real.
Yeah.
I just completely went away from it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Well, actually, I do know. I had a stroke.
Oh, wow.
And then I came, you know, all of a sudden I'm back on the cushion. And I was like, why? What am I doing?
Yeah.
Somehow I'm coming, I guess, a little bit back to reality. But boy, my body is still fighting it amazingly.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, you know what I'm saying? And it's beautiful to hear that. And I hope that you feel better soon. You know what I'm saying? But this appearance, you know what I'm saying, is so realistic that it appears as bodily sensations, that appears as illnesses, and that appearance. And I'm just going to mute. And it's very persistent, and it's very detailed. It's if what is going to appear as an illusion, it better be good. If the illusion is you know what I'm saying, it's if this is a whatever it is, right, it better feel realistic. Otherwise it will be just pointless, although it's already pointless. But if the play is going to be, it's if thisness is going to appear as a separate appearance, and that separate appearance, you know what I'm saying, is going to be completely, even with video games, if you look at video games, the characters are so detailed, right, that if you come to them, it will have a whole storyline whatsoever. It's this simulation. This is the apparent, you know what I'm saying, the simulation of the unknowable mystery. Of course, it's going to appear as a perfect illusion, as all of this storyline, a storyline that is so it's almost like there's no plot holes, but it's all a plot hole, because there's really no one in the story. It's just a story. But the plot hole will never be seen, because it is the whole. The whole is looking at the whole, and I will never see anything wrong. So what's being expressed is this immediacy, this directness, right? That the storyline is seen as just like, oh, it's just a plot hole, meaning it's really nothing. But it feels absolutely real, because it's a very persistent illusion. So it's going to have this historical kind of, like, you know, when I was seeking this body, whatever, I was punching myself, and it will have all of this seemingly kind of, like, you know, very convincing reality. But what's being expressed is that all that there is only this. It's only this, and there's nothing outside of this. So stories will come, and the stories about the future will appear, and it's all going to feel fantastically real. It's just what is, yeah. And it's just really the simplicity. It seems so complex and so convoluted sometimes, right? They're like, well, why did that happen and everything? But have you ever had a dream that was just so complex, and it was almost like a whole universe was there? You know, like the whole storyline. Sometimes you have a dream that is like a lifetime, and you wake up, you're like, oh, that was 10 minutes.
I used to have a recurrent, I don't know, it was like a scenario. Like I felt like I was living in 2 dimensions with different families and
yeah. but it's just an illusion. None of that is real. It's just an appearance in a dream. And then it's almost to kind of like it's see how tricky it is. Then there's a maintenance, like there must be a separate reality then. It makes you think, and then you start seeking for that. But it's
Yeah.
just a dream. It's just ether. It's
At
just
least I
air.
knew it was a dream. Often, even when I was having the dream, I was like, "Oh, I've been in this. This is back in this, and it's continuing." How
Yeah.
can I? Yes, I was aware of that. It was, but it was interesting.
Yeah.
You know.
It is. It's quite fascinating, right? You know, sometimes when I used to be such a vivid dreamer that I would have dreams of, you know, alternate realities and everything. And I would sit up for an hour and be like, was that real? Because it was so convincing. And then you forget about it. You know what I'm saying? After after you have breakfast, you're like, oh, I can't remember it. It's fantasy. It's beautiful fantasy, right? This appearance is just wow.
You're beautifully articulate. I
Oh,
really,
thank you.
yeah, I really appreciate the clarity that you're bringing to this for me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's really nothing.
I'm glad that you have the skill to do it so easily.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
Thank you. Becca. Hey, Becca. Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
did you ever feel like the message that you're listening to is going into your nighttime dream?
When I was actively, you know, seeking, you know, when there was a lot of seeking energy here, I played the audio in my sleep in hopes that I would get it when I wake up. So yes.
No,
so
but I mean, like,
so I would play all the YouTube videos while I'm sleeping, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to miss a thing. Maybe there's a chance that I would get this subconsciously or something in my sleep. And then when I wake up, they'll be like, oh yeah. But yeah,
no, but I'm dreaming
this is a dream as well.
about the whole,
Oh,
like, I'm realizing it in the nighttime dream.
yeah.
If you can resonate with that,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
resonating with it more
At the
in the
nighttime dream.
nighttime dream.
Yeah. Because there's not much resistance. You know what I'm saying? In the apparent, again, it's just a story. There seems to be this dualistic kind of like play, right? There's the nighttime dream with no resistance, and then there's daytime dream that seems to have resistance, that there seems to have a choice. The nighttime dream seems to be like relaxed, right? So it's more vivid and there's just more an acceptance, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
Beautiful.
resonating more,
Yeah.
remembering and
The nighttime dream.
in the whole
Yeah.
thing in the nighttime dream.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Becca.
Thank you, Emerson.
Thank you. Apparently, someone messaged. Apparently, it's oops. Apparently, it's a break time. So we have a couple of hours of break, so I can walk the doggy and eat something. Thank you so much, everyone. We're going to close this up in a couple of hours.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Emerson.
Thank you so much, everyone. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
bye-bye, Emerson. Nice
Bye-bye.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you
Bye.
too. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.